Hello, welcome to Yin Yoga. So today, for the most part, it's going to be all about the hips. We're going to open up the hips, we're going to get into the low back, and we're going to get a little bit into the feet. So for this class, make sure you've got all of your usual props, maybe a block or two, some blankets. We are going to start with the strap here in a moment, and a bolster cushion. We'll go use that for supported fish pose today. So we will find a comfortable seat, whatever that looks like for you. Think about ears, shoulders, hips, and ankles. Zip up from pubic bone to behind the navel or belly button into the spine. We'll take a slight tuck in the chin, and we'll come into our practice. So as you sit here in your nice tall spine, notice if there's anywhere that you could soften just a little bit more. The hips, the shoulders, the face. And then bringing that awareness to your breath. Do you have an expansion in that rib cage? Good. And so then from here, we'll take just a few rounds of our box breathing. So I'm going to give the magic number of 6. We'll do this 4 times. If 6 is not your number, on the inhale, the hold, and the exhale, do what you can. Don't worry about the rest. Come to your normal breath at any time. So from here, we'll exhale to prepare for that. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Last one, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Release, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Return to normal breath. Fingertips to the side. Notice how you feel. Palms turning up. Inhale, reach, 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 and lengthen. Nice and tall. Touching palms together. Exhale, hands in heart center. Connecting to an intention. What would you like to give or receive? For me, it's just going to be good health. And that means different things to different people. So health, wellness can be your intention. And we'll take our hands back up overhead. Reach, reach, reach. Turning palms away. Grow taller from crown to tail. Good. All right. I'm going to grab my strap here. Good. And so I'm going to just kind of hold this wide. So I've got kind of a plastic thing here. If you've got metal D-rings, just be careful that it doesn't hit you in the face. But I'm going to thread between pointer and thumb. Good. Coming out wide. And I'm having some tautness here. Big inhale, reach, 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 and lengthen. I'm going to take it back right behind my head without popping the chest forward. And then I'm going to take it down. Good. From here, take it up, right over the head. Big inhale, exhale. Get a side bend towards the left. I'm breathing and expanding. Maybe you want to bring that hand down here a little bit more, supporting yourself on the floor. You can choose to stay here. Maybe we want to open up and look towards the back, finding a nice stretchy and opening there. breathe and expand. Inhale, exhale, come back and see, curve and roll. Forehead in the direction of the knee, but not touching. Your strap will not be taut here. It'll have some slack. That's okay. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, coming back up. Good. I'm going to readjust my grip. Big inhale, reach and lengthen. Take it back a little bit behind the head. Maybe you can come back a little bit more this time. And coming back up and coming down. Inhale, take it up right over the head. Exhale, take it over towards the right. Good. Breathe and expand. Good. And then from here, maybe you take that hand down to the floor for support. Opening up, maybe opening behind you. Reach and lengthen. Inhale, exhale, take it to the side and round, round, round. Head in the direction of the knee, but not touching. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, coming back up. Good. Taking it back down. Readjust. Take it back up. Inhale. Maybe you can come back even a little bit more this time, or maybe not. So remember, as you take your hands behind you, you want to keep your arms long. So if your arms are like this, take a wider grip on your strap. And then from here, just move forward and back a couple times. Good. And then from here, when you're ready, find your sweet spot, which might not be your full range of motion. So you just saw me take this all the way back to my hips, but this is actually my sweet spot. This is where I get my deepest stretch. And then from here, we'll take that up and we'll take that down. We may or may not come back to this later in class, so do have it handy. And then from here, when you're ready, I'm just going to do just a little bit of a spinal roll here. Some of you are going to choose a neck roll, a shoulder roll. Find what works best for your body. And when you're ready, we're going to come right into a child's pose. So I am going to carefully come off my blanket. I'll place that back up there. So remember, for your child's pose, your knees can be together as wide as the mat or somewhere in between. You can always have support in the back. You can always have support in the front. Arms can be long, or if your shoulders don't want that yet, you can have them back by your ankles. So be where you need to be here. And we're going to try this with for about a minute, and then we're going to come up and we're going to do it a slightly different way. So from here, find your child's pose. Maybe not your deepest child's pose just yet, but breathe and expand. And 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. So I'm going to take my hands under my shoulders, and we're going to come up out of there. Good. Now, we have done this before, kind of getting into the armpits a little bit by taking our arms onto the blocks and just kind of coming into that a different way. And you can certainly do that if you like that and want to do it. I want to try it a different way today. So I'm bringing my bolster cushion. So if you have sensitive skin, this might actually be a little bit more comfortable. So it's going to serve the same purpose. And then from here, when you're ready, find knees together as wide as the mat, somewhere in between. I'm going to take my arms long over here now. Good. And I'm just going to let myself just be here. And I'm going to breathe and expand. And I'm going to get deeper into this area, kind of get into the lymph a little bit here. And we will be here for about a minute and a half. So your head can come to the floor. If you've got the bolster cushion, your forehead might kind of rest on there as a little bit of a, I don't want to say cheating, but might feel a little bit better. And you can play with this. You can take your arms kind of more at an angle. They can be straight out. Less than a minute to go. Final 30 seconds. And 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. So carefully come out of there, maybe one arm at a time. Good. And we're going to come back up. So as we come up, we're going to come into a tiptoe balance. So I'm going to have my blocks ready here because my balance is a little bit off. So from here, what I'm going to do is I'm starting on all fours. I'm going to tuck my toes, and I'm just going to kind of come back here. I'm going to kind of use my blocks as I come back, and then I'm going to find that tiptoe balance. The closer the feet and the legs are together and zipped up, the harder it is. If you're a little bit hip width apart, then it's a little bit easier, but try not to hunch over. Try to find some length here, and I'm going to take my blocks beside me. I'm going to be right here. I'm going to zip up, and we're going to try this for 1.5 minutes. Whoop. If 1.5 minutes is not where you need to be, come out when you need to. We'll come back to cat-cow after this. And if you're hip width apart and you feel like your ankles are kind of shifting to one side and then to the other, think about getting into big toe and pinky toe mounds. You have 1 minute left. Breathe, come back to the intention. Good, final 30 seconds. It's getting harder the longer that I'm here. And breathing, health and wellness. What does that mean to you? Does that mean being able to move your body pain-free on most days? Does it mean good sleep that's uninterrupted? And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Carefully come out of there. I'm going to carefully come out of here. I'm going to release those toes. Woo! And I'm just going to come back up here for a moment. Good. I'm going to make my way to tabletop position. We're going to find cat-cow here. So you can also do this on the forearms. You can also take forearms up on your blocks here if coming to the floor is too low. A big inhale, shine the heart forward, tip the pelvis back. Exhale and round. And inhale and exhale and inhale and exhale. Good. We're going to go into melting heart. So this is also known as puppy in other practices. So I'll give you a few options here. You can take forearms down to the floor. Good. Hips stay over the knees here. Shine your heart forward like you're coming into a cow pose, and maybe this is you. Shoulders are going to be back in their pockets. Others are going to take a block or a folded blanket under the chest for support. as you take your arms forward. Maybe that's you, or maybe you can come into the full and the chest can come down. Here, good. Now forehead can come down here if you've got neck issues. If you're coming into the full, you can take the chin forward. I'm gonna do forehead down here just for a few moments before I come into the chin. But I'm zipping up from pubic bone behind the navel. Good. I'm breathing and expanding. So remember, if you need to come out of here at any time, please do so. Two minutes. Come back to breath. You're halfway there. Good. 60 seconds. Final 30. In 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Forehead down first if you took the chin. One hand at a time under the shoulders. Whew. And then I'm going to carefully make my way onto my belly. And then I'm just going to kind of take everything out here and wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Good. When you're ready to move, hands are going to come under the shoulders. We're going to make our way back up through tabletop. And we're going to set up for dragons. So I will show you dragon from an angle here. Good. So, and this is going to be about 3 minutes to each side as well. So if you know that you're going to need to take forearms to blocks, go ahead and have those handy. I never know, so I'm just going to have mine over here. Good. So from this tabletop position, I'm going to start by taking my right knee forward, taking that right foot forward. Now, as I take my hands on the inside of that foot, I'm going to tuck the back toe and bringing that back knee more behind me. So if you need a knee cushion back there, you can bring that in. For some of us, this is going to be it. This is going to be the extent of your dragon. Others are going to choose. Maybe you take that front leg out a little bit wider. Maybe you choose an external rotation, hip, knee, and toe, turning that away from the body. Maybe you stay up. Maybe you come to blocks or forearms. Find where you need to be here. We're still zipped up from pubic bone behind the navel, and we don't want to collapse down into the shoulders. So we want to press away and be active. Good. And you can kind of Wiggle, wiggle side to side here for a few moments until you find your sweet spot and settle in. And so health and wellness, what does that mean? Does it mean just eating more fruits and veggies, leafy greens? Does it mean some juices or a smoothie? Like I had in my email this week, a recipe for one of those. Sometimes that's an easy way, a little bit more tastier way to get vegetables in if you don't like eating them and get all the nutrients in that way. We're halfway there, over halfway there. Does health and wellness mean putting vegetables on half your plate and everything else on the other half? Oh, 30 seconds. Who knew? I planted this hip opening thing here, but I feel like my upper body is actually getting most of the work. So it makes sense though with what we're doing. I just didn't think of it in those terms. We've got 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. I'm going to carefully come up off my forearms. I'm going to bring my leg back in line with my hip. And for a moment, I'm just going to shift back here, lengthening the torso, soft front knee, just getting a little counter to that hip opener. Good. From here, when you're ready, I'm just going to take that leg back in. Now that you know what it looks like, I'm just going to kind of cat-cow here a little bit just for a couple moments, and we'll take dragon to the other side. So from here, now I'm going to take my left foot forward. However you need to get there, hands are going to come in, tucking back toe, lifting the back knee, taking it back. And then from here, you choose. Are you going to stay here? Are you going to take it out wider? Are you going to go to the external rotation? Forearms or blocks. And then from here, as we slowly settle in over time, we'll come to our dragons on this side. Maybe noticing already a tighter side versus a more open side. Good. Health and wellness, does that mean more water? Flushing out the toxins within your body, hydrating the body and connective tissues, drinking more water and herbal tea versus soft drinks and coffee. We're in the second minute. Good. So you're going to see me make an adjustment here. I'm going to come a little bit higher up on my forearms being on blocks versus down. Remember, you'll always have the freedom to do that if that's what you need to do for your body. Coming out completely is always an option. We're in the final minute, less than a minute. Thirty seconds. Stay with the breath. And 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. From here, I'm going to carefully come up off my forearms. I'm going to bring my leg back in with or without the blocks. Carefully shift back for a moment, lengthen the torso. Good. And then when you're ready, I'm just going to take that foot back. I'm just going to come through a couple cat-cows here. Good. And come to a seat. So we're going to come to Janyu Shavasana here. So I'm going to bring in my blanket. I'm going to sit on it. Good. I'll take my legs forward. I'm going to have my left leg out and bring my right foot in. Good. Finding an anterior tilt of the pelvis here. Good. And we're going to do a minute and a half. We're at a minute and a half. I'll give you the option to go into a twist. If you don't want to do a twist for the last minute and a half, you'll just stay where you are or choose to come out. So you will choose your path here. And then from here, big inhale, reach and lengthen. Exhale, hinge. And then we'll fold. Remember, about 85% or 90%. Breathe into the back body. Breathe into the back body. Come back to health and wellness. Pondered what we've talked about so far. And as we come up on the halfway point, you choose. Are you staying where you are? Are you following me through a twist? So from the twist, I'm going to lengthen my torso a little bit here. Left hand's going to come on the inside of the left leg. Right hand's going to come onto the outside. I'm going to rotate towards my right. And now breathe and expand here. 30 seconds. And 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. We're going to carefully come out of the twist if you took it first, and then come back up. Good. From here, when you're ready, we're going to switch sides. So I'm going to take my right leg long. My left foot's going to come in. Good. And then from here, resetting the spine if you need to here. Find length. Big inhale. Exhale. Hinge and fold. Remember, about 85, 90% to start. Breathe and expand into the rib cage. As we begin to start to come up on the halfway point, choose where you want to be. Do you want to stay where you are? Do you need to back off? Or are you going to follow me through a twist? So the twist, I'm just going to come up. I'm going to lengthen my spine a little bit more. Right hand's going to come on the inside. Left hand's going to come on the outside. I'm going to rotate here. Good. Breathe and expand. About 20 seconds. Five, 4, 3, 2, and 1. If you took the twist, carefully come out of that first, and then carefully come back up. Whew. How do you feel? I hope you feel good. Good. So we're going to come into a half frog here. So if you like or need a blanket to support the knee, when you do that, if you're on a harder surface, I recommend just going ahead and having that. I'm going to do my right side first because that's the side that's facing the camera. But to get there, I'm just going to cross my ankles and I'm going to rock forward here and move this one out of the way. And then from here, I'm just going to come onto my belly. And as I come onto my belly, I'm just going to bring up that right knee to the side. So I'm just going to kind of bring this in a little bit here. Some people may not need this, but everything else is the same, just as if we were in full frog. So you're looking for hip, knee alignment, knee, ankle. Your toes are going to turn out away from the body here. Good. And then from here, we'll be here for about 2 minutes. Let's try for 2 minutes. So we will go into a pigeon from here on this side, just so that you know where we're going next. Breathe and expand. So what is health and wellness? Is it the things that we've talked about? Is it only about the food that you put on your plate or drink? Or is it other types of food? We call in my health coaching primary foods. So is that, mental and emotional health, your family and relationships, spiritual health, financial health? All of those things factor into overall health and wellness. And 3, 2, and 1. Good. So from here, I'm going to carefully remove this blanket and put it to the side, not too far away. I'll use it again. Good. I'm going to carefully come out of there and wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Good. Hands under shoulders, moving back into tabletop. We're going to take that right knee behind the right wrist for a belly down pigeon here. So if you come down here and you've got a lot of space under here, you've got blankets and things that you can fill in. If that doesn't help and everything just feels really tight, I would recommend coming onto your back on figure 4. You'll take the right ankle over the left knee. A floating joint here is a risky one, so be mindful. So from here, we're going to be here for 2.5 minutes. Breathing and expanding. So I'm kind of starting high before I sink in a little bit deeper. So remember, if you're coming deeper into belly down, weight is through center. You're still breathing and expanding. then from here, when you're ready, good. Carefully, carefully come up out of your pigeon. Good. I'm just going to reach, taking that leg back. Good. And then from here, this will feel really good when we go into half frog on the other side. So I'm just going to turn around here just so that I'm not having my back to you too much. I'm just going to bring up that blanket that I used on the other side. Good. I'm going to carefully make it down onto my belly. Good. And then I'm just going to pull up that left knee. So think about, again, hip to knee to ankle. Toes are turning out here. Good. And then from here, we'll be here for a couple minutes. So with each breath, could you sink just a little bit deeper? So what is health and wellness? Is it an exercise routine? I believe the best exercise is the exercise that you like. And that can be walking up and down the inside of a mall. It can be walking on a track or your neighborhood. It could be running. It could be yoga, Pilates. Everybody's different. So for example, while running might be exhilarating for some people, make some people feel really good, that might be absolute torture to somebody else. And that's okay. So find the movement that works for your body. If you do that, you're likely to stick with it and keep moving. So for example, if you don't like running, you might be successful for a couple weeks in a running program, but sooner or later, you're going to quit because running is not your thing. And that's okay. Good. 30 seconds. And relax through the hips. I just caught myself tensing up there. So see if you could soften somewhere. Good. And then when we're ready, carefully, carefully take that leg long. Come into a wiggle, wiggle, wiggle here if you need to. We're going to take the hands under the shoulders, coming back to all fours. And we're going to take that pigeon on the left side now. So left knee is going to come up behind that left wrist. I'm going to slide myself back, fill in anything here that you need to. I actually need to fill in a little bit on the side. So that's what I'm going to do today. If figure four is a better option for you, take that. And then when you're ready, find where you need to be to start. We'll be here 2 minutes. Remember, the body will sink deeper over time as it's ready. So we don't need to be at our full right off the bat. One more minute. Remember, weights through the center if you're belly down. We don't want pain, numbness, tingling, burning. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. I'm going to carefully come up here. I'm going to move this blanket out of my way and carefully take that back. And then I'm just going to lengthen that leg back for a moment. And then maybe the other side. Good. So from here, and the way that's best for you, we're going to come onto our backs. Now we're going to come into the supported fish pose from here. So remember, if you don't have a sturdy bolster cushion, you can take a couple blocks and put a blanket over that so it's soft. And you'll put that right below the bra line or the chest. So you want your shoulders to be able to have that movement. And we don't want to have blocks too close to the low back. The bolster, however, is a little bit different. It's thicker. It's more supporting. So for this one, you can have it all the way up against the low body. I'm going to bend my knees as I help myself come back here. If you need to support your head here, that's fine too. But as you can see, my shoulders are coming off of here. Legs can be bent. You can be crisscross applesauce. Legs can be long. Be where you're comfortable. Right here is going to be it for me. And we'll be here for about 1.5 minutes. Breathe and expand. We're still zipped up through the front body. From here, in the way that's best for you, based on where you went here, carefully come out. So I'm going to take my arms long. I'm going to nod my chin. I'm pressing into my elbows here to help me carefully come up. Good. I'm just going to counter that real quick with a real short forward fold. And then we'll set up for final twist and Shavasana. So I'm just going to move this right down here. Good. Carefully coming onto your back. Rolling your shoulders back in their pocket. Give yourself a little wiggle, wiggle here. Good. So from here, we're just going to do a basic tabletop twist today. So I'm going to take my arms out to the side. One knee at a time. We'll come up into tabletop position. Knees over hips, hips parallel. Knees over hips, shins parallel to the floor, not hips parallel to the floor. That would be funny. Big inhale, exhale. Take that over to the right. Trying to keep left shoulder grounded, looking over to the left. Breathe and expand. Good. Gently bring head back to center, one leg at a time, or use your abs to bring everything back to center. We'll wiggle, wiggle, wiggle here. And when you're ready, we'll take that twist to the other side. So tabletop leg, inhale, exhale, taking that over to the left. Trying to keep right shoulder grounded as you look to the right. Carefully bringing head and neck back to center, one leg at a time, or use your abs to bring both knees in. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle here. We're going to set up for our Shavasana. So if you want to bring in any props, you can. I'm actually going to come up and grab this bolster. I love having the bolster under my thighs in Shavasana. I'm going to bring my other blanket in here for a neck pillow. And then from here, if you do have an extra blanket, something else you can do sometimes, if you still need to feel a sense of grounding, sometimes you can find that if you take that folded blanket and just lay that over the midsection here, it can bring you right down. You can also do it the other way as well. So I'm going to actually do that right here. Good. Make yourself about 10% more comfortable, and I'll leave you here for short Savasana, and I will call you back in a moment. Taking in some deep breaths. Choose stillness, or gently take head and neck from side to side. Choose stillness, or invite movement of fingers and toes. Choose stillness, or maybe if you use the blanket across the belly or the hips, maybe remove that. Taking one knee at a time into the chest. Choosing to stay here, or maybe lifting the upper body in the upper body hug, full body hug. And choosing stillness, or moving any other props out of the way you may have used during Shavasana time. Taking legs long in front of you, arms long behind you, and reach and lengthen from the edge of the fingertips, the edge of the toes. Full body stretch, point and flex to the feet. Bend and stretch through the hands, twirling wrists and ankles in one direction, and then in the other. And then from here, whenever you're ready, carefully bending in both knees, and you choose rolling over onto the right or left side, the side that works best for you. Taking a moment here to pause as long as you need. And when you're ready, pressing yourself up to a comfortable seat. Where we started our yoga practice, I'm going to bring my blanket back in here to sit on. Maybe. Good. And then from here, whenever you're ready, find that nice tall sit, ears, shoulders, and hips. Noticing how you feel. And fingertips to the side, palms turning up. Inhale, reach, 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 and lengthen. Touching palms together. Exhale, hands to heart center. Reconnect with that intention, health and wellness, what it means to you, or something else one more time. We'll take thumbs to the forehead for good and true thoughts, to our lips for good and kind words, and to our hearts for open and loving hearts, knowing no effort on this mat is ever wasted, no gain is ever reversed. May you be safe, may you stay well, may you have a wonderful day, evening, or week ahead. Namaste.